I'm going to try to pull this clutch out of the bottom of this tractor. I watch Kenny Kids will do it, so I'm going to try to do it. So his video will have a lot more information about how to do it. It's a longer video. So I got the fluid drained out. I need to unhook all these hoses that go into this pump. Everything that goes through here. So this one goes through here. There's some on the other side. And then I need to take out the, wherever the one, this is where the, I think this is where the dipstick part is supposed to be. But they have a line going there now too, because they got all this. He didn't have all this going on with the loader and everything. He had his loader off already, so I don't know how his hose is all hooked up. We have a tank on the other side on this one, so I'm just going to kind of dig in here. That was a big jump for you, kitty, and see what all I got to take off. So I got all the hoses unhooked. I got 2 from up down here on this side, and I got 2 on the other side. I got the dipstick out. Yes, I see you, kitty. I just got to take off this hose here right in front of us. I thought about leaving it on and then bringing this down and trying to push it over this way, but I think I'm going to run out of room to get that pump out of there. I don't want to be halfway down and then it doesn't work. So I'm going to get some screwdrivers, take this off, and then take these 2 bolts out and gently lower this down. You could use a rigger jack. I just happen to have a transmission jack, and I got some boards on there to help support it when it comes down. So should work out good, I think. Let's get that hose off, and I think that's the right thing to do. What do you think? I got these all loose, so. I'm gonna let them hang there a little bit. Let's see if this comes down. It came down. So there's what the pump looks like. Got the pump out of there now. Now I'm gonna scoot that out of the way toward the kitty there, and we'll see what's looking upstairs in the, under the bonnet. This is looking straight up underneath of it. It looks like that the cogs here for the pressure plate. This one here, you can fit this whole pick right between this and the bearing. It's not even touching the bearing. And this one, I think they're supposed to be a little closer. Like this one's just touching, not by much, and this one's way out there. It does go back. There's some oil up in there, but not much for how old she is. This seal over here, that one doesn't look like it to be the culprit. From what the video shows, I gotta take all this apart here. This all will come down here in one piece. I'm gonna have to watch that video again just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that all comes down one piece. I was doing a little inspecting. I just went up here like this. I was like, oh, that's not supposed to be loose like that. Then I went like this. I don't think that is supposed to move that much. So maybe that bearing is bad in there too. This bearing, this one here, the throw wheel bearing is bad for sure. A lot of wobble up and down in that one too. So well, these should be tight, not like that. Because these ones over here are good and tight still. Well, that one, we got one is tight. Okay, now not to overdo it. We have one is tight. So I got this out of there. Now I slid this all the way back this way. Now I do believe I need to take out this bolt here, holding this input shaft, drive shaft into here. And this is where my bearing is out. I can feel it right here. Kenny Kizel, I seen he jacked the front of the tractor up so all the oil went, you know, back, because it's in the back of the tractor, and then he took that flange out, took that bearing out, and the seal. But my oil, I don't know how old this stuff is in it. It probably needs to be replaced anyways. But I don't know how you get in there and get that without taking all this off and use the impact, because these are spins. And I couldn't get nothing to really hold it unless I take like a punch and then put it on here and then get that to stick through here somewhere and then stick, you know, grab something. And then I can use a wrench and break that loose. So I'll try that. Otherwise I gotta take these two bolts out of here, one there and there, take the spring off, and then this thing should start coming down, I do believe. Maybe I'll have to take this lever off over here so I can just kind of let it float where it wants to go, so I don't have to fight with it. I got the clutch and the pressure plate down. So I had to loosen all the pressure plate, take it all off, all the bolts. Then I had to bring it down kind of sideways and get this unit to go up, and then I got the clutch disc off and I pushed it up and out of there. It was quite a ordeal, but it did come out. There's not a lot of room up in there to do it all. First I thought I had to take this part. First I thought I had to take this off, so I had this all pried off and loose, but I couldn't get this to come out here because I didn't have enough room to put the shaft in there. So then I had to try to pound that back on there. Now I'm gonna have to take this bearing out here because this is a bad bearing, and that it's got a lot of wobble in it right here. So I just pried it a little bit, and there's a lot of water in there. So I'm gonna go find a bigger bucket, well, same size bucket, but it has less stuff in it. So then there'll be a bigger bucket, because this bucket's half full of water, hydraulic fluid, and this has water in too. So we're gonna drain this sucker here and let all the water out of it and the oil. And probably need a new seal. This gasket's probably leaking here. So we're gonna go and find a little bucket to put this in. I'm finally back on the Farmall M after a month or so probably now. Been busy doing all these things you've seen, some other things with Amanda and other stuff. She went away with her sisters, so I decided not to go with Jeff to roll. I'm gonna stay home and work on this with the kitty that is very annoying this morning because she wants all the attention in the world. So I went to Gut Waltz. I got a clutch for it right here. So I was just looking at the thing, how to put it back in, and that is how we're gonna do it. I already want to put that new bearing in, so got that in. Now I can't put any more in of that, I don't think, till I put this in. I might have already put too much in there than this to make it all fit. Yeah, but it took it apart a while ago, it's a little hard to remember. Then I picked up these new washers too, because these washers are pretty brittle, these ones inside of here, and they want a pretty penny for them. So I picked them up on the eBay, and I got to get them out. I didn't place very close attention, but this seal is bad, and it swelled up and won't even work anymore, shrunk up. So I got to run back to Gutwaltz. I got about an hour and a half for the close. I got about 40 minutes to get there, so I'm gonna go clean up, go get this seal from them, and then hopefully when I come back, I won't need anything else, I can put it back together. Hopefully Kitty leaves all my stuff alone, so when I get back, it's all here. She doesn't play with it. What are you doing up there? Why do you always like to go up there for? Yeah, you're gonna have to get yourself down like you normally do. So working on the Farmall M. I didn't videotape much of it. Working on it. I was putting it back together. So it was a process. Put it all back together. Here comes the kitty. Yep. What do you think? What do you think? So, putting it back together was a process. Put the clutch in. Then I started putting it together and I realized the seal was out. So I had to go back to Gutwaltz to get the seal. So I had to take it back apart. Then I put it all back together. And then it wouldn't work. So then I had to call my cousin. My cousin came over and we had to adjust on the pressure plate because the pressure plate wasn't reaching with the pedal. So we did that, got it all put back together. That was like a late Saturday night around 9:30. So then my goal was to have it done and have it running and out of here and all that, but that didn't work out. So on Sunday after church, I went and bought some oil and put some more rear end oil for it. Went and bought that, and I put that in. I started filling it. First of all, I dumped it out, but I only dumped it out of the front plug of the rear end, not the back plug here. So I couldn't find the back plug because it got that piece of channel iron back there for the hitch. So I started putting 5 gallons of oil in it, and water started leaking out the rear end over on that side on the thing. I was like, well, what is going on here? So then I came back digging around, found the drain plug, took that off. So now I got 10 gallons of water down there, and then 5 gallons of oil I brought out. So I took 15 gallons out of it. It was all water. And it supposedly only holds 11 to 13 gallons. So I already spent 120 bucks on oil for it. So then today now I just went and bought 15 gallons of oil for $170. So hopefully that's enough oil. I know it's enough oil, plus I'll use some for the hydraulic system. So now I'm gonna go put the oil in it. I'm gonna try to flush out the back end here with some old gas or diesel or something too. But it's becoming a money pit. You get some gem like this piece of art for free, then it just turns into this. I didn't want to spend that much on oil. Neither did the kitty either. She said that was terrible prices. Okay, I've changed situations. So I got a axle seal leaking over here, right here by the tire. Then when I got the pan down there, I got the what do you call it, where this whole axle shaft housing bolts to the rear end, that leaks. They were loose. I got them tight now, as tight as I can get them, and they're still dripping. And when you got down underneath there, it looks like the bowl gear has broke out at one time and they welded up the rear end, but that's not leaking. So I dove into the wiring situation. I was going to try to get it started. They said they had it running, but the only time you get spark, not when you're turning the tractor over, the only time you get spark is when you let go of the key and then it's just spinning there by itself for a little second, then you get spark. So I noticed this wire down here was all taped up for some reason, and that goes to the alternator, and there's 2 wires coming from the alternator. The other one is tied up right here. So then I went up here and opened up this rat's nest of wires. There's a speaker wire there too, If you can see that, there's a speaker wire from a car speaker. That's wire coming from the solenoid. They have a solenoid down here, and it's all taped up. One part of the wire is loose there, the other part of the wire is there. That runs down to a solenoid they put down in here. I mean, that functioning okay, but all this other stuff that they have going on, and then all these wires are loose and brittle, and then this green wire here goes to the coil or resistor. That sort of goes, starts at red, a red wire that butted in, then it's a green wire, and then you go up here and 6 inches before you get to the key it turns into a blue wire. So I think I'm gonna just, I don't know, it seems all kind of screwy wire. I'm thinking about just ripping it all off and starting over. I got the hood taken off so you can see the power steering thing. That must leak somewhere because you can tell. I mean, I can tell. I don't know if you can tell, but it must leak somewhere. I don't know why they have this extra wire come from. I've always told you just use a one wire. They have a thing that plugs in there that deletes it. I don't know, I have to look that up. Look that up. When I look up this wiring situation, see what kind of wire I need to get, see what kind of wire I have. And I would like it just to have like instead of the key switch thing, just a push button and a push button, just like it used to have. You don't have to have a key switch. It's got tons of push buttons over here. It's got a push button and it has a pull button here. They probably went bad, so they rigged this up on here. So I got the tractor all wired now, the right way. I got it all, everything wired, but I don't think the alternator's working. I have to start it. I'll have to start it then and find out. I did have it started. It did start. So it does just, you come over here now, hit the thing, and it will turn over. So, but we have a problem. We have tons of oil leaks. I know, I'm telling them about them. I'm telling them about them, kitty. We got an oil leak right here on the rear axle, and then where the rear axle goes to the bolts to the transmission or whatever you call it, gear housing there, leaks there really bad. Then we got run right up here where the hydraulic, where the clutch is and the hydraulic pumps, and we have to take all the lines back off, all the hydraulic pump assembly, and not pump assembly, but pumps up here, but all that reservoir and all that stuff, all that back off again, and then I need to put another seal in there. Not the seal that I fixed before, but there's another one that I did not fix. I didn't know it was leaking and leaked that. But the main thing that's leaking is back there. That thing where it was loose. The axle housing was loose. So I re-tightened it, but it still leaks terribly. So, I mean, it's a good thing we got it done. It was a bad thing that it leaks so much because that oil was like $100 and some. It's just leaking out. So now I got all clean jugs that are catching it, so I can hopefully reuse it again. So that's the end of this video series on this, I guess, till I go back to start tearing it all back apart again. I was videoing some, and then I just gave up on videoing because I wanted to get it done, and kind of lost interest, and then I got interest back again. So there we are. So it is done. You could use it as right now, but it leaks so much oil that it's kind of a waste. So I need to take that all back apart and get some new seals and figure out how to do that. What I got going on today with the Farmall M is we're going to reverse the process and start over again. So got the oil draining out of the rear end right now. Part of it, hopefully I don't have to drain the whole thing. I'm thinking I'll just drain the front part. Then I gotta I already drained the hydraulic oil out of the hydraulic pump there. I need to drop all that belly pump out of there again. Unhook all these lines again. That took me forever to remember where they went last time. Maybe I'll mark them this time. I need to drop all that out. And then I need to, yes, Miley. Yeah, tell him. So I'm going to drop all that out. Pull out the whole belly pump again. Take off that seal out of the back end of the rear end, whatever it's called. And replace that. And this is what's leaking right here, this seal. So I'm draining the oil right now. I'm going to take this off. Hopefully it comes out and I can go get a seal for that. I tried to look online to find a seal, but I couldn't find a solid answer for the right seal, so I didn't want to order it and then have the wrong one. This is how the cat lays on me when I'm working on something like this. I think she's sleeping. Nope, she's not sleeping. So this is a little thing I need to get out right here. This seal is leaking, so I need to try to clean up some more of this better before I take that out of there. Scrape some of that out, put some super clean degreaser on there, and well, I got it off. I got the seal out. It's a 358823 space R91. I call it Gutwells. They cross-referenced it to a 18580. I'm pretty sure you have to get 2 of them to stack them. I'm pretty sure that. I think that's what I read on Kenny Kissel's thing. But I need to check that out and make sure before I order 2 just to be sure. So this nut right here, I could not get off the tractor. It goes underneath by the belly pump, and it runs the belly pump from the transmission. And I could not get it off. Here's what it looks like. It has a big groove in it. So you have to put a 1/2 inch or 7/16 bar in there. So I welded this thing up right here. And put that in there then, and then tried hammering on it. Then I tried welding one in a socket using a big 3/4 inch. Tried a 1/2 inch Milwaukee. Try a 3/4 inch Milwaukee impact to get off. Try the air impact. Try putting a pipe wrench on the PTO, and then wedging this pry bar here that's now bent. That now has a bend in it, and that didn't work. So I had Ron come over with the impact, and he couldn't get off. So we tried welding a socket, and that didn't work. And then I gave up. I was gonna cut it off. So it's been about 2 months trying to get it off. So I welded that to there, and Jeff was over, and then we took that underneath the tractor and we put it crossways in there, and then I took a big socket, 3/4 inch socket, 3/4 inch drive socket, put on the back of the PTO, put the tractor in gear, locked the wheels up, and then put like a 4-foot pipe on the 3/4 inch drive ratchet, and we wedged that all in there, and we got it broke loose after heating it up many times and spraying lube on it and everything we could do. Finally got it off so I could get back there and put a seal in. Once got the counter shaft nut off, and here I got the old seal out. So here's the old leather, it's original international seal, and then they don't make them anymore. So you have to get this one right here, A47 1419-1 seal. I had to get 3 of them to build up that height. They have different part numbers. So here's another part number right here, a 381907R91 seal. So I got 3 different seals and made it work and built it up and put it in there. So here's where it is right here. The nut goes right in here, and then the seals are right here. I put 3 seals. Like you can unbolt this, take it off, put the seals on, but you can't unbolt this till you get the nut off because it has a flange on it. So now I got that in there. It's all gooped up and dried overnight. So now I can go and I had to put a new bearing back there too. I got a bearing number. I can give that to you too if you need that, because you have to get a special one with the snap ring on it. So now I can put some grease in here on the seal, and then I can go and hopefully put that nut back on and try to get it tight again. Not sure how tight it really needs to be, but it was tight. So here's the old bearing. It was a GC235 International. And Tyler helped me cross-reference that down to a Timken 207L. That was not. Oh, it's kind of weird. Shouldn't it say more on the box? All it says is a 207L.